technical difficulties here in the duck call room. We don't have a TV today, people.
No, we don't have a TV.
We're sorry. Also, if you haven't noticed, we have special guests today, Si.
Well, hey, I think they've noticed after looking at our ugly mugs. Okay, we got the pretty women here today.
We got the pretty women. We got this guy running through the middle.
We got the cover girls, boys.
So today in the duck call room.
Now they're still cover girls today.
Hey, thank you.
In the 80s.
In the 80s.
Oh, yeah.
I don't remember those.
Prime.
Duck Dynasty, you big dummy.
So if you haven't figured it out, we've been rambling trying to get our TVs to work, but we have one of our favorite guests, Miss Kay, back in the saddle.
I love it. I love
replacing Justin Martin. And first-time guest, my cousin, and I guess I'm her cousin because that's probably how people know me. Korie Robertson,
That's it.
wife of Willie Robertson, here to dispute some things that may have been said on this podcast before.
I'm here to tell the rest of the story.
Or the
Harvey,
real
Here you go, Si.
story.
Yeah.
There's what we were talking about a minute ago.
Oh, okay.
Okay, go back and show from the beginning. You
Oh,
gotta
baby
see the
girl
whole thing.
worshiping.
Look at her. She
Yeah.
is worshiping.
She's got those hands up.
And then watch this. Look.
Whoa. she
Come on,
just
put it
went
on up there,
She's
girl.
all in.
all the way.
I love
That's
it.
the cutest.
It really is.
From the babes, boys.
That's right.
She is a hands-up worshiper. We got lights falling down behind me. It's a weird day here in the duck call room. We didn't even clean up for Miss Kay and Korie.
It's okay. We're
Right.
used to
They don't
Yeah,
ever clean
we're
up
used
for
to it.
anybody.
That's also true.
Okay.
I thought we might clean up for them, though.
Hey, yeah, no.
I just don't take
What has Willie Robertson been up to?
That's a good
Willie.
question. I'm curious.
Willie, yeah, John David, is that a weird thing for you to not know what
I got
Willie's
nothing.
doing?
I see it on Instagram now. I'm like, huh, neat.
Yeah.
I didn't know.
He has been speaking a ton about,
he told me.
all his evangelism. He's been working so hard on that, speaking a lot. He's talking about, he's got a few projects, book, podcasts he's been thinking about. I don't know if I can announce that on here because they're not like done. But yeah, he's working
thinking
on all that
about
and
it.
doing great. Yeah. Doing a lot with camp. He
I
loves
think
camp.
say that's a
yoga.
good thing.
It is a good thing.
Because if he's
doing
speaking
great.
about Jesus, hey,
That's
country
right.
needs it big time.
That's right. He's doing good. Yep. Traveling, speaking, teaching his class up at church,
Yeah.
working on camp. He built Camp Chioka, for those who, I'm sure y'all have talked about Camp Chioka on here, huh?
Oh, yeah, I'm sure at
David.
some point.
Probably.
It's
So
a camp.
Chioka,
It's a place we go.
it's,
kids.
yeah, it's for place for kids.
It's for
Christian-
adults now.
Yeah,
Adults are out there every weekend now.
that's true.
It's
Having
crazy.
like retreats and stuff like that. So Willie goes out there because he's going to build this like walkway because we've got some like drainage problems or whatever. Well, you know how Willie does. Like if he's going to build something, whatever size you think it should be, like triple it.
Yep.
And that's what Willie's going to do. So it's literally, he calls it his boardwalk empire now at camp. It's the biggest boardwalk you have ever seen. The amount of lumber he put into this, you walk all the way down the girls' village. It's a big deck. It's pretty awesome.
That's
but,
why
you
he's
know.
speaking so much, because he bought that much lumber in the year.
True. That's true.
Year of our Lord
Lumber.
2022.
Yeah.
And lumber's definitely
Yeah.
higher
Oh, yeah.
than it used to be.
That's exactly
Yeah,
right.
cat
That's exactly
back.
right.
Yeah.
That's hysterical. Kay, what have you been up to since we last saw you here in the duck call room?
Well, I cook a lot, and I just enjoy being home when I can.
I thought
But I'm
Jay Stone does all the cooking.
Oh, Jay does cook a lot for me now. I love
He's
it.
good. He's gotten good.
Really gotten that whole beef tenderloin he does.
So good.
He cooked
melt
the
in your
best
mouth.
one for Jason the other day.
Well, I'm sure he
yeah.
did.
Oh, yeah.
Jason will require the best.
I told him, I called him that night and I said, hey, whatever you did on that one, you need to do that every time. He said, hey, you're not going to believe this. He said, it was done at 11:30. So I wrapped it up, and put it in the pan, wrapped it with tinfoil and put it in the oven and just had it on real low.
Yeah.
And look,
That's the secret?
you could not pick it up. If you stuck a fork in it, you'd try to pick up where Jason had cut it.
Mm-hmm.
All that would come up was what was on the fork. The rest of it would fall off.
It
was so
really
tender.
That tender.
Yeah.
Wow. That sounds
He
good.
has perfected it.
Yeah,
He
he's
has.
got
You get
that
the
down to
invite
a
next time.
science.
Well, he's
Yeah.
making it for us on Friday, I think. So,
Oh,
Well, I
good.
may have
You
to
can-
just ease
anybody can
on
come
down
that
there
wants
then,
to.
on that little trip.
well, I got to make sure, but I think that's what he told me.
I'll call him.
All right. I might be coming.
Yeah, come.
I ain't gonna miss that.
You need to check your place down there, so that'll be an excuse to come over and eat with us. But
Yes.
you
Yeah,
can
y'all are
come
neighbors
anyway.
these days.
Perfect. We are.
Yeah, but they're never there.
I know. We need to come down there. I've been wanting to. Willie and I decided we were going to come spend like 1 weekend a month down there, and we haven't done it since. But
I know you did one.
We did.
You did one.
Well, we usually come in the summer because we go out on the boat.
Get too busy.
So it's been cold. We're waiting for the summer. We'll be down there.
Well, everybody's so impressed by your boat dock over there.
Yeah.
And then the boats and all that. And somebody was, and he said, "Where's yours, Phil?" He said, "There's this old tore up thing over there, and there's 2 more, which would be our neighbors." And then he said, "And that's Willie's. Who knows that's Willie's because it's so nice." Phil said, "Mine's a tore up one over there." Phil said, "I like to keep things like it
Well,
is."
hey, it served him well for
Oh, yeah.
30
It
years.
works.
No, but you go out to get on his boat deck, you have to jump over the water to get on it.
And watch for the snakes and everything else because it's like covered
I have
in
a snake story.
brush.
Well, we love snake stories here on the Duck Call Room.
Yeah.
Okay, so I've got a new yard man,
Yeah.
Blake Burnett, you know?
Oh, good. Yeah.
And so he's out there, and I have this thing of rocks that come down that I wanted in the middle of my flower garden, right below the country kitchen. So he is super worker, man. So he decided to move all those rocks. He's going to move them. I mean, just take them out and like clean and then put them back. Well, guess who was sleeping and hibernating in those rocks? 2 copperheads.
Oh.
Which are they're not alive now. They went on
Well.
to the snake heaven, if there's one of those.
There's one of them.
There's not one of those.
I doubt it.
We've discussed that in full.
And
There is one for
So
dogs.
now I'm wondering what else is asleep out there. It's kind of
Yeah,
scary.
that is
But
scary.
they do hibernate and all that, and they were in the bottom of those
Oh, my
snakes. I don't know.
goodness.
I mean, rocks.
Oh, that is so scary. Well, that is one of the reasons I'm on here.
She's here.
That is one of the reasons I'm on here to talk about because I heard Willie talked about when he threw the snake in the shower with me.
Did you know you raised your children to
Yes.
do that? To throw snakes on their poor, unsuspecting
I don't
wife?
know what Willie went off on his own. He raised himself or something because there were all kind of different things with him.
He pretty much did. And I don't think he ever got past like 12 or 13.
No,
He's stuck in that time period
But
because
he's so funny, and you do like his humor, don't you?
I love it. I love it.
too.
That's what I love about
then
him. And
Ja-
it's never boring being
And
married
how
to
about
him.
this? That Jason said he's never disagreed with anybody or argued or had a different opinion.
Jase has never disagreed with anybody.
Well,
else?
yeah, I think he needs to repent because I love him, and he is doing so much better and everything. But to say he never did that,
Yeah.
He
the
said it was
Jason
all my
Robertson
fault.
never argued.
He's matured a little.
yeah, he has matured a
Yes.
lot.
Yes.
But when he was little, when I said this, he said that. When I said this, he said that. It was just like, and Phil said, "Why do y'all argue all the time?" And I said, "I don't know." But he wants to disagree with everything I say.
Yep. Well, remember that time we took those personality tests and we all thought that Jase was going to be more like Phil, and Willie was going to be more like you, but actually it was opposite.
No,
Isn't that weird? Willie was Phil, and Jase
Jason
was like
was
Kay.
me.
So that's probably why you argue because you know how
I got
you
so
argue with your
depressed
kid
that
that's like
day.
the most like you.
I know. And that's why Alan said, "Mom, that's why you argue because you're too much alike."
Yeah.
And I said, "I'm not like him." And Jason said, "And I'm certainly not like her." And Alan said, "So now this is the reason you are alike."
Kind of
That's
proving
why
the
you do
point.
that.
Yeah.
And I think I saw where Willie's like Phil, the way he came out with his own business and
Mm-hmm.
just took the lead, and he has passion and everything he does. That's Phil.
Yeah.
Well, he couldn't work for nobody.
That's
No, I'm serious.
yeah. Well,
I'm
could your
serious.
he
Could
couldn't
your
work for the
brother-
man.
No,
could
no.
your brother
Phil-
work for anybody?
No. Phil could not work for anybody. I'm telling you.
Yeah, he's his own boss, right?
Yeah.
Gotta be.
Could not work for it. Willie the same way.
He's his
It's
own boss
true.
too.
Okay.
It's true.
Very true. Well, let's take our first break, and then we're going to come back, and we're going to get Corey's side of the story of the snake.
Well, I think so.
In the
I ain't
shower.
heard this.
Me either.
Hey,
It
Willie's
happened.
allowed to get killed doing stuff like that.
Yeah, that's Willie. All right, we'll be right back. I'm going to keep exercising on this cue.
Yeah, he's living very dangerous.
Sunday. Martin, tell him about Sunday.
Oh, it's hard to imagine, but spring is almost here. Hey, actually, when I got back from South Carolina, spring is here. There's stuff yellow starting to show up.
Oh, yeah.
We're so close to feeling that soft grass under our feet, but first we need to get our lawns back in order. Thankfully, Sunday gets your lawn growing and helps to keep it healthy all season long. Hey, look, if you're worried about all the chemicals you're using to keep your yard looking its best, traditional lawn care lays down 90 million pounds of pesticides each year. Sunday is different. They're on a mission to change how people care for their yards. And that's what our friends at Sunday are all about. Sunday can help you grow a beautiful lawn without the guesswork or the nasty chemicals. Their custom plans include fertilizer and everything you need to easily care for your lawn. And with ingredients like seaweed, iron, and molasses, you can feel good with kids and pets being around. All you have to do is visit getsunday.com, put in your address, and their lawn analysis tool does the rest. Then they use the soil and climate data to create a personal nutrient plan delivered to your door when you need it. Just attach the ready-to-use pouch to a garden hose and spray. It takes less than 15 minutes. Best of all, this stuff really works. My yard looked the best it's looked all year last year, and legit, it is that simple. You screw it onto a water hose, turn your water hose on, spray it, you're done. Everything. It's the easiest thing you can do. And right now, Sunday is offering our listeners 20% off. Full season plans start at just $129, and you can get 20% off when you visit getsunday.com/UncleSi20 at checkout. That's 20% off your custom plan at getsunday.com/UncleSi20.
You know John David's son, Carter.
Yeah, this is why I have a vasectomy. Everybody.
Y'all know Carter. Okay, the other day, I'm sitting in my house, and all of a sudden, I see our dog, our black lab, run through our house, and like trailing like 10 feet behind is Carter just running through our house.
And we don't live that close.
And I'm thinking, okay, John David must be here. So I like look around, like, where's John David? And then I realize, oh, John David's not here. So I go out to find Carter, and he's running back across our yard. And I'm like, is he alone? How old is Carter?
He's 7.
Okay, and I'm like, is Carter
A
like
young 7.
alone running around the neighborhood? So I called John David. He doesn't answer. I called Allison. She doesn't answer.
We're not worried about it.
I called your mom. I called Janice, which is my aunt, his mom. And I'm like, do y'all know where Carter is? She's like, oh no. Is he at your house?
Immediate panic.
Oh no. I'm like, he was at my house, but he's gone. I don't know where he's going.
Well, so we were at my mom and dad's. We eat dinner there every Sunday night, and he's up by the trampoline, and there's a big field in between my parents and Willie and Korie's. And he goes, hey, Dad, I'm going to go say hey to Spaz. So I just think Spaz is in the field. So I'm like, okay, bud, go say hey to Spaz. Well, he'll be back.
Go see the dog and then be back.
No. Yeah. He goes over, picks a lock, just goes into Willie and Korie's house, makes a sandwich, gets him a glass of water, says hello to Spaz, and then just comes on back.
He just ran through the house.
Hey, Spaz, you want a piece of ham sandwich here?
Yeah.
He came to visit.
So then I had to tell him, like, hey, we at least knock before we go. Even if they are family, you have to knock.
No, he does not have to knock. He can come in my house anytime. I do not mind. I just was scared that he was just like...
He was alone.
That was my only concern. Which Mia, that used to be Mia. Remember when Mia used to roam the neighborhood when she was little?
She would call herself visiting.
Yes.
Buddy.
I remember one time I was like sick that day, and I was laying asleep on the couch. Mia's like 4, and I opened my eyes, and Mia's standing right there. Her face is like right in front of my face.
Just
I'm
looking
like,
at you.
Yeah. I'm like, hi, Mia. What you doing?
that is something Carter would do.
Family all lives in the neighborhood together.
I love it.
But we had a
He can come
problem with
anytime.
Carter on the first time we took him trick-or-treat, and he'd be like, trick-or-treat. They'd open the door, and he's like in the kitchen. I'm like, well, no. You stay at the doorstep.
They bring it to you.
And Carter, he's in speech therapy, and so you can't really understand a lot of what he says, and he talks really fast, and he's never met a stranger. And my 3-year-old can speak like she's 22 years old, but she'll just stare at you. She won't talk to anybody. So I'm trying to like mesh them together. I'm like, you be more outgoing, and you're freaking people out, man. You calm down and don't go in their houses. But speaking of houses and vasectomies and showers, so Willie just threw it. I don't know how. Well, I was trying to get back to where we were headed.
Oh, yeah, the snake in the shower.
We never got to the snake. You got to defend yourself.
So I heard Willie told this story about throwing a snake in the shower with me. Like, we were like early married, like had been married like 2 years. And he loved to like surprise me and scare me. And he thought it was just hilarious. And so, I mean, this actually... Like, I don't really think there's much to tell because that is true. Exactly what he literally, I'm taking a shower one day.
I'm hoping it's a green garden snake or something, surely.
It's a snake.
Like a black snake. I don't know. I'm taking a shower.
Maybe a king snake.
One day. I think it was a king snake. I was taking a shower one day, just minding my own business, and all of a sudden, a snake just drops into the shower with me. I got out of that shower so fast. I mean, it's a miracle that I did not hurt myself.
yourself.
For real.
Yeah.
I like the shower curtain comes down. I'm like running out of the shower. And Willie's out there dying laughing. So it's kind of a miracle that we're still married.
That's what I was going to ask.
That's actually kind of a
Wait,
miracle.
but do you see what I went through raising him?
Oh, I can't imagine.
Never a dull moment.
5 little
Never.
alligators in my bathtub.
For real?
Frogs in my bathtub.
Alligators?
Yeah, baby alligators were in
I have
my
not heard that.
bathtub. And
What was he doing?
turtles and frogs.
Hey,
Lizards. Lizards don't even like water.
Yeah, everything that you can catch, Willie's probably caught it.
That's actually true.
And put
That's
it.
actually true.
Yeah, and put
Which
it
was
in the house.
great.
And
Which
put
was
it in the house.
was great when we had little kids because our kids loved all the
yeah,
animals that he
yeah,
brought home. He brought home flying squirrels, a bat, which John Luke got bit by a bat one time. That's a whole nother story because
Oh, yeah.
Willie brought one home.
I remember that.
He, had to get rabies shots. That's, that was not my best.
The whole
parenting
family was
moment.
freaking out. I remember, and John Luke went to the hospital and was like,
Yes.
John Luke got bit by a bat, and he was the oldest grandson, so everybody's like, oh,
Yeah.
John Luke got bit by a bat, and I'm only like 6 years older than
Oh,
John Luke,
that should have been on the Duck Dynasty show.
but I asked him, he was like, how old was he?
He was like 6 or 7.
and
It
he
was
goes-
like our pet bat that Willie had found at the camp and brought up for it to be a pet. I have no idea why.
I'll
allowed
never
that.
forget though. John Luke looked at me and goes, well, I was more concerned about the bat than the bite, and I was like, you're a weird little kid, man.
He was.
Freaking me out.
He was. He loved that bat so much. I mean, I think he may have been like 6. He loved that bat. And Willie had told him, like, you can never touch the bat without gloves, meaning like thick leather gloves.
Yeah.
But John Luke, he obeyed. He got gloves, but he got my rubber gloves from under the kitchen sink, those yellow rubber gloves.
Yep.
Put this on, tries to pick up the bat, and the bat, sure enough, bit him like 2 little holes right there on his finger. So then I like Google like what happens if you get bit by a bat because I don't know, and it's like rabies.
Yeah,
I'm like,
yeah.
oh my gosh. So he had to take him to the hospital. He did have to get his first round of rabies shots, and so they had to test the bat to see if it had rabies. Otherwise, he was gonna have to get like 5 rounds of rabies shots.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's bad news there.
So they had to kill the bat to test it, and John Luke was devastated. It really was sad. He was like bawling, "Don't kill the bat. It's okay. I'll get the shots," which I thought was really sweet and brave of him. But
John Luke was the animal like king. though.
loved them.
I was an animal lover too, and I got in much trouble with
Yeah.
so many. I
Yeah.
brought home and found, saved, did everything.
I had nightmares about snakes for a while after that one. After Willie
would
threw in the
too.
shower with me, I was like dreaming that they were in the bed with me. It was
Yeah, 'cause
terrible.
If it was a king snake, they're bad looking.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
was
Oh
scary.
yeah, no, they're ugly looking.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm not like
They're good snakes, but they're ugly.
I'm not
snake.
like a super scared of snakes person. Like
Right.
I'm not, but I don't want in the shower with me now. I mean, if I see
You got to draw a line somewhere.
There is a line. That
and the
was the
shower
line.
is well past.
yes,
Oh, no.
way past the
My
line.
brother Tommy, Judy's in nursing school. She comes home one weekend, and he finds a grass snake, pretty good size one, probably 2 foot long, and he wrapped it in between his fingers, and then he squeezed it, and that snake is green. Well, it turns when he squeezed it. It turns blue and yellow and green and red.
I never heard
And
this.
it looked just like it looked just like because we was always fighting. Okay, so we come running around through her room, and are throwing punches. Okay, and
It was like that.
you know Tommy threw it in the door. Okay, no, I think I broke it. Yeah, oh, I think I broke it. And Judy said, "Let me see." He said, "Oh no, it's broke. I'm telling you, it's broken." He's like this. Well, when she grabbed it and done this, he opened his finger and the snake's head come up.
Oh my
You know,
goodness,
and she just, went berserk.
That's fantastic.
that's hilarious.
no. Hey, did
that
we-
sounds like something Willie would do.
No.
He used to,
Oh,
but the worst.
He gets it normally.
Yeah, he
okay,
does.
From the family.
Yeah. But the
Okay,
thing
so-
that he would do to me, though, that was, I mean, it might have been worse than the snake. Just even he would just like hide around corners. Like I was scared for like years, even to like go around a corner
In her own house.
in my own home.
Yeah,
Yes,
in
I
her
would
own
like
home.
reach. I would like reach around the corner to like tap to see if he was there before I go because he would jump out and scare me. And I'm like, you're gonna give me a heart attack one day. Like you actually are.
He still does that to people.
He does.
Love
And
Oh,
if you leave the bathroom last and Willie Robertson leaves it first, you're in the dark.
Oh, no,
yeah,
no.
he will turn the lights off
100%.
on you in the
No, no.
bathroom. Yeah.
It don't matter how many people are in it.
Well,
He'll do it to you in an airport.
Any restaurant.
Oh,
yeah.
no. That was the best part of Duck Dynasty. Whenever we'd do something and people would ask me, well, what is really, really like? And I said, hey, he's an idiot. I said,
No, he's a
the-
jokester.
No. And I said, hey, he's the worst prankster we've got in the family.
That's
Yep.
true.
Yep. It was actually kind of nice during Duck Dynasty because he had the whole film crew to prank, so he could it
Oh,
took
no,
the
yeah,
pressure off of me.
yeah.
Because then he
Somebody
kind of
else
just
got
moved
it.
it on to everybody else. Yeah. I told him, I was like, our film crew is going to come back and haunt you after Duck Dynasty's over because he would just do things to them.
A
Just
lot of food was thrown at
Yeah,
people.
yeah.
Just for fun.
hiding their phones, of course. A lot of that. A lot of.
I experienced it for 8
Yeah.
years. Just Willie's torment on a daily basis.
Well,
They
he-
did
hey,
get him back, though.
I've always said I've never grew up, and I haven't.
Yeah.
you're-
Willie's
Yeah.
the same way.
Obvious.
Y'all are both
Yeah.
big 14-year-olds.
Hey, yeah,
Yep.
we ain't.
Yep.
Hey, we ain't gonna grow up.
Hey, I like
Okay.
it. I like it.
Hey, adults are boring.
Yeah, and Willie's never been boring, has he?
He's not. No, he's not.
Yeah.
So the film crew did get him on the last day of filming. Do you remember what they did? So you might not even know this because it was in our interview. Willie and I were doing our very final interview, and Willie had made the mistake of telling somebody that he hates cotton balls. Like he can't even say the word cotton balls. Like he gets like freaked out. You know how like some people with like chalk. Like I don't like chalk on a chalkboard or things like that. Cotton balls is his thing. He does not. He hates them.
Well, they're really scary.
So-
Why would he be scared of that?
Yeah.
I don't know.
But he'll
They-
throw a snake on you.
They make him
Hey.
feel weird. So the final interview, we're sitting in there in the interview, and as soon as it was over, they dumped a giant
Just box
bucket
of-
of cotton balls
on him.
on him. It was hilarious.
He
It was
freaked
good.
out, didn't he?
Yes. He was paralyzed. He couldn't move. He was scared to death.
Weird.
Hey,
Hey, sometimes you find out something about your heroes and you end
Yeah.
up disappointed because he's afraid of cotton balls, everybody.
phobia,
Phobia of
Yeah.
cotton balls.
some kind of phobia.
Only
Is
Willie
there a
Robertson.
name for
What are
that?
you afraid of?
should Google that. Is
I'm
there a
gonna
name for
we're
that?
gonna take a break. I'm gonna Google that, and then we're gonna come
Cotton
back
ball freaks him out.
and talk about Miss Kay, the mother-in-law, because that kind of interests me, and I think it'll interest our fans. So we'll be right back.
I actually got a good workout. 1 hour. 1 hour regimen, okay? 10 minutes on the pedals, okay? And I can get probably 1,000 reps, okay?
All while watching live from
That's right.
Daryl's house.
Live
baby.
from Daryl's house. And then I do the weights, okay, for 5 minutes with 6 exercises. And actually, that's 1 hour with no interruptions, okay? One solid hour of getting it. And hey, it's a good workout.
It's a great workout.
And it actually helped with my COPD and my breathing.
So you're feeling great right now. I'm feeling great. I'm doing it right now. Wow, that's how good this thing is. I'm doing this commercial while QBing. Let me tell you what they got. QB, it's a compacted, seated elliptical that lets you get fit while you sit. It's low impact, so it's easy on the joints. It fits almost anywhere, so you can be active while watching TV, working, or spending time with your family, or shooting a podcast. I'm doing it right now. Kind of running out of breath because I'm getting my exercise in. Look, here's the deal. QB can assist with rehab. It's helped Si after COVID. It comes almost fully assembled. All you need to do is use screws to attach the pedals, and QB even throws in a screwdriver. This thing's easy. Every QB comes with a 30-day risk-free trial, and you can visit QB.com/duck to get free shipping on your new QB today. That's spelled CUBII. Get the QB elliptical that's right for you. Go to QB.com/duck. Si loves his QB. I love Si's QB, and so will you. All right, we're back. But before we get into Miss Kay, the mother-in-law, fear of cotton wool balls is known as sidonglopophobia. So
That is a thing. Okay, wait.
sidonglopophobia, the fear of cotton balls.
It would have to have my name in it.
It's a real thing. Sa, that's right.
Sidonglopophobia.
Right, hey, phobia.
Sidonglobophobia. There it is.
I didn't know he was like that about cotton balls.
That's a
You
weird
learn
thing.
something new about your son.
Well, that's
Yes.
part of it. You're his mom. She's his wife. I want to know what that was like because we've gotten Willie's story a lot on
Hey, it
how
has to
your
do-
parents felt.
I guarantee
Yeah.
it has to do with a nurse.
Oh, you think a nurse scared him one
No,
day?
no, I'm serious.
That might be it.
I'm serious. If it has to do with a nurse probably giving him a shot,
That might be.
Well, I would see them
probably
shot
hit it
needle.
behind a cotton ball.
Yep. That might be it, Si.
I'm
Si's
serious.
assessed. Si has just assessed
Hey,
Willie's
that's Robertson.
fear.
Always assess blame.
Yep.
Cotton.
Blame the nurse.
Blame the nurse. She stuck him with a needle, and from then on, cotton balls are out, Jack.
But Miss Kay, you had absolutely insane children, and we've covered that in length. And surprisingly enough, they all married four very normal human beings for the most part.
That's
Extraordinary
that's
human
someone's
beings.
opinion.
Thank you for that.
That's someone's opinion. She's right here, one of
No,
them.
but hey, that's the person's opinion. Okay,
All right.
I would
How
not.
normal we are.
Hey, I'll have my doubts about any Robertson member
They married in, though.
is normal.
Yeah.
They ain't got
Hey,
the blood.
But they
Look,
have.
if you hang with them,
Long enough, 30
hey,
years.
osmosis, buddy. If
30
you hang
years.
around, hey, it's gonna rub off on you. Trust me. You ain't getting out of this.
No, I think my daughter-in-laws are the best. And how they make it is how I made it. So they just have to.
Well, we learned it all from you. We
right.
actually, Kay, like helped us through the years. She was always one thing about some mother-in-laws are like always on the side of the
Yeah.
the husband or their
yeah.
son. Their
Kay
son
was
like
the opposite.
you
their
need
son
to,
can do no wrong.
yeah,
but
you need to
Miss
listen
Kay-
to him and do what he tells you.
yeah,
That's what your
Miss
problem
Kay
is.
was not like that. She would definitely.
I would side with
she
the
would tell-
daughter-in-laws many times.
That's right.
On an argument, I would tell my son, "You're wrong. She's
Yes.
right." And they were like, "Well, that's not nice, Mom. I mean, I'm your son. You should side with me." And I said, "No, I side with the truth."
Kay tells the truth. That's right.
And not only that, I'm
It's
trying
true.
to teach you some wisdom here, young man. Do you want to be happy?
Yeah.
Well, then
Kay
you better
Kay-
treat her differently.
Kay was. Kay is the best mother-in-law. You were like, you accepted me and loved me from day one. There was
Right.
never any.
And I was the one ready for the marriage.
You were, yeah,
And I was like, "Well,
supporting
Yeah, get rid of him.
from day.
no." I said, "We were. We
Take
took
him
off.
away.
Well, I probably did relieve a little bit of him playing pranks on you. I probably did relieve a little bit of that,
it did
huh?
take some of that away. It did.
Well, one of the things that I did fall in love about Willie too was the way he loved you.
Yeah.
He was kind of, I mean, on Duck Dynasty, Jupp is definitely the mama's boy, and that is true. That is
Because he's the baby.
That's accurate. He's a baby. He is a mama's boy for sure. But Willie was also a mama's boy. He took good care of you, didn't he?
Yeah, he.
And
took
I
up
love
for me.
that.
He really did.
Yeah.
And we call each other, and it's real special.
Yeah. And when he was little, he said he
Still
would
waiting for this call from Jase to talk
one day.
one day.
That was one of my favorite parts of being Willie's assistant is whenever he wouldn't answer Kay, she'd call me and say, "Where's your boss?" And then I'd look up where he was and tell her. And then I'd call him and say, "Answer your mom." And then me and you'd get to talk.
I do love
was
to hear.
always
I love to listen to y'all's phone conversations because Willie laughs a lot. Y'all both laugh a lot when y'all talk. Yes, y'all have a lot. Y'all are a lot alike too.
We are, and it just can't be. It was just he was funny always, and I was funny. So I think I rubbed off a lot on him on being.
I think
funny.
so. I think so too.
And I was funny.
Well, you still are funny.
You were hilarious.
You,
I am
you
funny.
still are funny. Hey, we just found Lisa just texted Willie today and found a yearbook picture where Willie won top personality in 9th grade. He was top personality in his class.
heavy
Was that
burden.
That's a
With his
thing.
mullet.
Was that at Woodlawn?
did have a mullet.
Was that at Woodlawn?
Yep,
With the mullet.
top personality.
Yeah.
It's cute.
I can see
It
it.
was like 8th or 9th grade. I think it was 9th grade. And I said, I can testify. He had a good personality in 9th grade.
And he did, and at one time there was a class. I mean, he had the same class, from kindergarten up. But at one time, I told him, I said, "Have you liked or dated how many people?" And it was all the girls but one
I
in
believe
this
it.
whole class.
There
I
was
believe it. That was like the youth group at our church, too. He dated everyone in our youth group.
some kid was in my store the other day, and he was like, "Hey, didn't you used to work at Duck Commander?" I was like, "Yeah, I did. I worked for Willie for a while." He goes, "Yeah, my mom dated Willie," and I was like, "Oh, okay."
Okay.
Oh,
You
it
married
was
my
great.
cousin in your face.
Pretty much.
I didn't say that, but I was like, "All right, I don't know where to go with
We
this."
go to the grocery store. Most times, we're gonna run into somebody that Willie dated.
And one of
When
the
he was
girls,
like,
I just
some of them were like 5th grade. Most of them were like 5th.
But he got
6th,
married when he
7th.
was like 14, so it's really impressive that he managed to date.
Oh, he
that
was
many.
only engaged.
He started in
3
kindergarten.
times, remember?
Yeah. Well, he started dating in kindergarten, I think.
Yeah.
Pretty much. Yeah.
And he liked every girl but one, and he said, she's mean. That's what
Well,
he
she
said.
was mean to him. So there's a girl that he actually held a grudge on for years. I finally told him, I was like, you got to let this go.
Yeah.
But he's in kindergarten.
He ran that past me. He was like, "Do you think I should let this go?" I was like, "Yeah, Korie,
Yeah, you
Corey's
gotta
right on
let this go.
one, my man."
He was in kindergarten. And he said he had his shirt up over his head, and he was like scaring people. He was scaring all the girls. He was running and chasing them, going like, "Wah!" And they were all like screaming and playing along. Well, this one girl,
I bet I know who
she stood up to him and she was like, "You're not funny. I know who you are. I know you're Willie, and you're not funny, and I'm not scared of you." And he just felt dejected, and he was so hurt by it. He held that grudge for years.
Till he was
An
40
adult.
something.
He was well into adulthood.
And he was like, "She told me I wasn't funny." I was like, "You were 6. You weren't." And he was like, "No." Korie said I should get over it. And I was like, "Yeah, it's time."
Yeah.
It's-
Move on.
Oh, let me tell you something. I remember when he was 3 years old, and he was funny. And this is one of the things he did. We went shopping at it was for Walmart, so maybe it was Howard Brothers or something like that. And he was with me, and Ned put him in the buggy and all that. And then when I noticed, I went out. I did not notice this till I was driving home, and I had my sack and stuff and all that. And then I looked over at him and I said, "Where did you get that hat?" And he said, "In that store."
Oh, no.
And I said, "I didn't buy that hat." He said, "No, I did. I got it." And I said, "Well, you didn't have any money." And he said, "No, I just took it."
Oh, no.
And he said, "And I liked it. So now I've got it on." And I said, "Well, we're going to have to take
confessions.
that back." But I couldn't do it then because I had somebody coming, and all that. So it was funny because I don't know if I ever got paid for that $3 or $4 hat.
Uh-oh.
But I mean, it was like he just had it on, like it was okay.
Yeah.
He said, "I bought it," and I said, "You didn't have any money," and he said, "Yeah, so I just took it without the money because I didn't have any today."
Oh, no.
He's
He was
just
planning. He had a plan. He's going to come back and pay for that later.
he
One
gonna
day.
come back
I'm
and pay
sure.
for
I
that.
like this episode.
I always like when I'd come in to visit, and they'd tell me, "Yeah, Willie run away from home the other night."
Oh my gosh, how many times? He got so mad.
That was about every Friday night. He had a bunch of tin down there. He put over a drain, or water drain, and that was his house.
Yeah, he was creative with where he lived. He
No.
lived everywhere down there, didn't he?
Yes,
Oh,
he did.
he just-
So many different places.
Yeah,
And
he'd tell
packed his-
Kay, he said, "I'm gone. I ain't coming back."
and he'd pack his stuff, and he'd
Yeah.
take water, and he'd take all kind of snacks. He'd take all kind of stuff.
When he'd run out of water and snacks, here he comes. It's supper time.
Yeah, then he
Yeah,
decided to
he'd-
come back.
he
Yeah.
could smell the fried chicken coming. 'Cause
Didn't
we
you say
opened our
that
windows.
he would run away, but he would come back faster? But when Jase decided to run away the one time, didn't he stay longer? He's more stubborn,
yeah.
huh?
Oh, the stubbornest one of all.
You knew Willie was coming
Which
back.
was
He'd
the
get
one
hungry.
that stayed in that pasture part of the night and it really had cows in it. And I think it was Willie, and he woke up and he said, "I was just under the cow."
Oh my goodness, Willie probably got lonely. He probably decided to run away. Then he was like, "Oh, it's not so fun. I need to be around people."
Yeah,
why he came back,
he definitely had to have attention.
Yeah.
The Secret Life of Willie Robertson from those who knew him best. I like this episode. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back. Si,
Yeah.
you know how you know a lot of stuff?
Yep.
How many joints are in your body?
360, son.
Do they ever get inflamed?
Oh, yeah. Yep.
How do you
Matter of
treat 'em,
fact-
baby?
Hey, matter of fact, my wrist, okay,
Yes.
is I actually broke it in a car accident, so it never healed properly. Okay, because I didn't keep the cast on it long enough.
So sometimes it's sore.
It was yeah. So I had to, I call them my first responders.
Oh,
What it is, it's a Mega XL, okay, and they're only found in one place.
the pristine waters of New Zealand.
Okay, and they actually are like on kelp, seaweed. Okay,
Oh, yeah.
they're like mussels, and then they've got the process. The people that do Omega XL, that they take it and run it through the process, and they end up with pills. Okay, and they're very small, easy to take, Okay, and like I said, I call them my first responders because, hey, when I've got a little inflammation in my wrist, okay, I'll take a couple of Omega XLs, okay, little swallow of tea to go down. Okay, they turn the sirens on, boys, and hey, they're going to the spot.
Straight to the source. Because, hey, look,
That's
when
right.
you're young,
And they get rid of the inflammation.
they get rid of that inflammation. And when you're young, your body produces SPMs, and that's the natural way of keeping joints healthy. But as we age, we don't produce enough SPMs. And that's why sometimes when you get older, you're feeling sore, you're feeling pain. But Omega XL can restore your SPMs and rejuvenate joints and muscles so that you can move like when you were young, baby. Can your supplement do that? And the best part, you order one bottle and your second bottle is free. So visit omegaxl.com/duck. That's omegaxl.com/duck. Or call 1-800-844-4888.
88.
1-800-844-4888.
88.
Call today.
That's right.
I remember we had that mud fight down there. Did we come in? We had a big.
I don't know, but that's common.
Yeah.
That was very common at my house.
Yeah,
Mud fights?
we had a big mud fight when we were dating down there one time. I remember that.
Well, the funny part was, how opposed, Korie and them were to them moving along their relationship and everything. And Phil said, I just don't understand. I mean, look how young we got married and all that. And I was like, Phil, people aren't like us. And, but he said, well, he's my son. He wants to get married. I mean, who cares?
I think
I said, her parents, maybe.
Her parents care.
My parents actually did care. But I think Phil's line was like, well, you can get married at 16 in Arkansas. Why don't you just.
Yeah,
go
he
across
did.
the state line.
Yeah,
was
just
close.
go to the
That
place.
was his advice.
Yeah.
Thankfully, my parents came around, so we didn't have to do
that's
that.
what's
Thankfully,
so funny
eloped
about
to
y'all's
Arkansas.
story, that y'all actually got married and had a good life together.
That's right. That's right.
When the
But
parents
you-
said, "Oh no,"
But it
no,
wasn't when you graduated from college.
No, we got married 18 and 19. But
I
my
know.
parents, yeah.
That's what I
think
say.
it was just I was the oldest. It was just shock. There was some initial shock factor that I was 17 when I first said we were getting married.
Yeah.
I think there was a little shock that my parents had to kind of get through, but they got over it, and we had a beautiful wedding. And 30 years later, we're still going strong. So
And so we knew
it
that.
worked. Yep,
We knew
You
that
did.
from the very start. We
Yep.
just knew it.
you did.
And the way, the women are girls that he's been through, and then it was just like, I knew this is different.
Aw,
He really loves her. I did. And, so to me, I didn't see anything wrong with them getting married then because we did.
mm-hmm.
Well,
Well, my parents were 18 and 20 when they got married, so I was like, y'all can't really say a whole lot because
Yeah.
y'all
I
did the
wondered
same
about
thing, and
that.
they've been
Same
married
thing.
for what 50 years? 50 years.
50.
They're
They
50.
just hit 50.
Yeah. So they really couldn't say much either. I think they just had to get over the initial shock.
Well,
But-
and I think you just, yes, you're going to have growing up things and doing
Right.
all that, but when you do them together, you just go through the hard, I've always said the good, bad, and ugly.
Mm-hmm.
That's what you go through.
Yep.
And as
Yep.
long as you stick together, you're going to
Yep.
make it. I think too many people that I talk to are even like, well, if we don't make it, well, we can
They're not
just,
together.
separate or whatever.
Yeah.
And I'm like, why would you go in thinking that?
Right.
I went in
Yeah.
thinking, this is the love of my life. I vowed to God to take him forever till death do us part, and I lived it.
Well, the amazing thing about that is, the whole family of the Robertsons had told Kay, leave him,
Yeah.
They
get
did.
on with your life.
Everybody, I
He's
had
never
not
gonna
one.
change.
I had not one supporter.
No,
Stay with him.
we all told her, hey,
Yeah.
get on with
you
your
were
life.
seeing what was happening, and it wasn't good. Yeah.
My family,
Hey.
his family,
Yeah.
every family.
There was one Robertson that stood fine for Phil Robertson. And that was Jan.
Yeah.
Jan said, y'all ought to be ashamed of yourself.
Yep.
She didn't
It
give
made
up.
her mad.
She didn't give up on him, huh?
Oh no, it made her mad. Because when we would tell Kay, hey, you need to get on with your life, you and the kid take him and get away from him.
Mm-hmm.
He ain't no good. And Jan kept saying, hey, y'all ought to be ashamed of yourself. That's your brother.
Wow.
you're
Well,
talking
Jan
about."
was she knew that God had plans for
Oh,
Phil.
no.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
But
sure did.
she,
She's
she
the only
really
one.
did that,
Mm-hmm.
and she never believed. I mean, she believed there was a purpose for the bad that was going to go to the good, which it did.
Hey, the coolest thing that I ever heard my brother say is when Bolin and all them old boys he used to run with come up there and said, hey, let's go get drunk and chase women. And Phil said, hey, y'all don't understand. That guy died.
Yeah,
Wow.
he did.
I buried him. He's no longer on this earth.
Wow.
The man you're looking for is dead and in the ground, buried.
That's right.
That's awesome.
That's the last time he
it.
come to get Phil too.
Yeah. I got
Wow.
kill bunks on it.
Yeah.
That's the coolest
what
thing
it's all
I've
about.
ever heard my brother say.
Wow.
And because he said that, all four of us and that guy over there behind the computer are here right now. Because without that one decision,
Oh no, yeah.
yeah.
none of this is happening. Y'all don't even know.
Oh,
who
no,
any of us
because
are.
my sister, she had said it. She said, y'all don't have a clue. Phil Robertson's going to bring more people to Jesus Christ than you will ever even imagine.
She was a
Wow.
prophetess.
She
wasn't
was.
And
She
she was right. She
Wow.
was dead right.
Wow.
She never.
Well,
gave up.
I always say when I tell people about your story, I say it's just what had to happen was Phil had to die to himself and be raised new,
Oh, yeah.
and Kay had to forgive, which that's not an easy task either. That you had a lot to forgive.
I
and-
don't know how many people that I truly know right now would have stayed in that life 10 years and then forgave what all he did.
Right. And you
especially-
truly
Most of 'em-
forgave. And that is a beautiful thing to witness and to see Kay, as my mother in law, really forgive.
Well,
and,
no. That's the
it's
hard
evident.
part. Because most of them couldn't do it.
Yeah.
What
Yeah.
about when
They
you,
couldn't do
what
it.
about when
Too
his
many heartaches.
what
Right.
about his child that came back after 44 years, never knowing she was on
And
the
you
earth?
welcomed her with open arms.
Yeah,
That was
she's
so
my neighbor
amazing. Yeah.
next door.
Yeah.
Next
We-
door neighbor.
And never had a question about it. Kay was like, come on in.
right.
Well,
That's-
see, what was cool about that was that she had it in her life and then they didn't even know why. Because her parents that raised her, they wasn't godly.
mm-hmm.
But she was always, why am I
My
thinking?
grandmother was.
Yeah, why am I thinking like this? There's
Yeah.
no one around that I'm around that's even ever thought like this.
Yeah. Yeah. He's talking about Phyllis.
Oh, Phyllis.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and you know, she always felt like something was wrong.
Had a
She
faith. She had
and
a-
I see so much in her now that she's so much like Phil.
Yeah.
I mean, good and bad. I'm just saying. I mean,
It runs, the genes run
Hey.
deep.
she'll say like, "Sometime I want to be by myself." I never want to be by myself.
You're like, okay.
You know, and
Yeah.
then she's kind of like, I can just sit and not talk with people around me. I could never do that.
Yeah, but
not-
you got that from being around mom and daddy.
Well, and my, you know,
your-
with my
and
grandmother, and
and
I
your
was at that
grandmother. Yeah,
store.
yeah.
I was raised in a big store.
Yeah.
So I was always visiting with people. So
Yeah.
Because mom and daddy was the same way. They always had, I call them strays.
Yeah.
We always had strays around the house.
Yeah.
Phil and Kay was the same way.
oh my
Yeah.
goodness.
You'd look up and, hey, who's this? Who's this over
You
here?
know,
Her parents were the
That's-
same way.
yeah, I think
Oh,
that was
serious.
something that connected Willie and I because, like, we look like on the outside, you're like, okay, our families were so different. I lived in a subdivision, you know, all those things.
Hey, what
but,
size
like,
bed did you have growing up?
Queen?
Thank you. All right, you heard it here first, everybody. So did she. You can't make fun of me anymore for it, Willie. Thank you.
ask Willie where his bed was.
In the laundry
the
room.
laundry
In the
room,
laundry
yes.
room. He said,
So-
it's going to give me, listen to the washer and dryer every night of my life. He said, I'm going to be warped
But
because
hey,
of that.
it did him well.
It did him
That's
well, but
right,
he
it
can't make fun
did.
of me anymore. I just noticed that
Well,
chance.
here's the deal. What I'm saying is, like, from the outside, it might have looked like our families were really different, but on what really is important, our
county?
families were so
county?
alike. We always had people live. We, mom and dad have somebody living with them right now. We always had somebody living
I
with
saw
us.
him yesterday, and I was like, "Who's this person?" I was like, "Guys,
Well, hey.
it's Johnny
Always
Chris's house.
somebody
It's somebody.
at
It's
our
fine."
house.
You know
Our
what?
house is open to anybody. There's
I
nothing.
say you can figure that. Two mom.
You know,
Two mamas, two mama, and
mama.
two papa to everybody.
Yeah.
That's right.
well, you know, Paul Stevens preached over at our church Sunday, and Phil was gone, and he told, I forgot all about it, but he was the first person Phil converted, you know, and baptized and everything. He was a coach, and he was a football player. And then the next one, Steve Adam, I think, was number 2 and all that. But then Paul said, and I forgot that I just moved in with him. And
Yeah.
he did. He just moved
Really?
in with us
Yeah.
and was there for a long time.
Yeah.
And I can't think of how many more would just Phil would convert, and then they would just say, "But I want to just stay with you because I want to stay good."
Yeah.
Oh, shut up! Scare me up to death. How did you?
We just talked about you doing these things to everybody. Get out of here.
I'm glad I was sitting on this side.
I know. How did you get in here?
He's real quiet.
All right,
door.
ladies and gentlemen, if you ever
right.
wondered if anything we
Oh,
said about
boy.
that man is untrue, it was just proven correct.
Yeah.
It is.
But we got to take a quick break, and we'll be right back with some emails after this. Are we back?
We're back.
You're in charge, man.
Okay,
I just
hey.
work here.
I want to thank
Somebody send you something?
Gethsemane Farms, okay, for fruitcake. Okay?
Somebody sent you a fruit
And it's
cake?
made by the monks that work there. Thank you very much. It looks
I wanna
looks
eat
great.
some of the cherries out of it.
No, you ain't eating the cherries off of it.
All right, brother.
But anyway, we got that, and then what?
We got another box. I need to save that other box for Martin, though.
Okay.
There was some bagged chili from Cincinnati in it.
Bad chili from Cincinnati.
Bad.
Well, everybody from
Well, hey.
Cincinnati hates me, so I'm sure
Hey,
it has
bad
something to do
chili,
with that.
boys.
Hooday, everybody. Okay, but hello@duckcallroom.com. You all know, email us in. We'll try and answer it. We got light questions. We got heavy questions. We got weird questions. But I try and save some for Miss Kay because she's on all the time. Korie, I hope you've had fun.
I have had fun.
You can come back sometime. So if you got a
Thank
question
you.
for
Now that I'm
Korie,
invited.
I'll make a Korie folder here, and we'll ask her when she's back again. But Hunter emails in, and he said his girlfriend and I are looking to get a dog, and we wanted your help on picking a name. We get to name this person's dog.
Well,
Wow.
first of all,
Is it a
what
boy or girl?
They don't have
what
it yet.
type of dog?
They don't have it yet.
Oh, well, what
Well,
time?
you
of-
kind of have to see the dog to
Yeah.
know the name.
Yeah.
But I was thinking maybe we just go with Bobo number
7.
7. I think they should name him Bobo 7.
Yeah.
Bobo
And that's why I
7,
saved
that's
that
good.
question for
And
Kay.
Bobo came from a dog named Jesse James. And then we had just Jesse. And then we went on down. We ran out of ways to change to Jesse James, so we go to Bobo. And now
How
we're-
did it go from Jesse James to Bobo?
Well, I thought, his really official name at the vet is Jesse James, number 4. But, or was it 7? I can't remember. But, so we
Can't keep up with it, boys.
just couldn't keep making
Yeah.
names for that, so we just decided to call him Bobo.
You had to go with the nickname.
Yeah, and Bobo suited him.
Yeah. Yeah.
Bobo's still around.
You kind of have to see the dog to know, which we won't let Willie name him, that's for sure.
Well,
Yeah.
I
Willie
just
named our
thought
dog Spaz, and it's terrible. I felt like I did not want to name that dog Spaz, but Willie did it, and now it's stuck, and now we have to call, and it's a girl.
And
That's just
she
sad.
doesn't really know she has a problem.
And she's not.
But-
she's a great dog. She was
Yeah.
hyper.
my kid will just break in your house just to see
She
it.
was hyper when she was little. I will
Yeah.
give her.
I just thought Kay was a great person to name a dog since she's so good at it. She just keeps using the same two.
That's right.
Just
Well, I make
Jesse
different
James
parts
and
of that.
Bobo.
Jesse James or Bobo.
But you know, I have 2 rescue dogs.
are those the ones that got in the fight at the wedding?
Yeah. And their names are Griffey and Penny. And I want to know who named those. When I picked one of my grandchildren that was there at the time we got them, Merritt Robertson, and she said we will name him Griffey and we will name her Penny. So
Is that freaky and sneaky?
yes, thank you for changing their names.
Okay.
Phil did that.
Well,
And
hey.
that's what he calls them.
Freaky
Him and
sneaky, boys.
Si, but nobody else calls them that.
I do. It's
Well, I
a
know.
good
Freaky and
name.
sneaky?
Freaky and sneaky.
I actually never knew their name.
We need to
I
change
thought
your
it was
name
another
and call you
Jesse James or Bobo.
something else.
boys. Well, hey, if I'll answer to it.
Hey,
Well, our family does like nicknames. I will say that. Will we call Bob? Kind of like Jesse James calling Bobo.
Yeah.
You know. So
who knows? I did meet a kid in the store the other day who's named Si. They claimed it wasn't after you. They were from Toledo, Ohio. Friends, shout out. But I think it was after you.
well, actually,
never know.
there's a lot of dogs named Sadie and Bella. That's apparently a really
Oh, that's
common
it.
dog name. I get that a lot. People come to me like, "Oh, my dog's named Sadie," or "My dog's named Bella." But
I think I had a dog named Bella.
I
at one-
take it
Oh, no,
as a
Mac and Mary
compliment.
did.
I'll take it as a
So
compliment.
here's our next email. It was a thank you to Miss Kay. I'm going to pull up this photo.
Oh wow!
You see him? Do you recognize that, Miss Kay? In the bowl.
Well, I can't.
You can't see it?
Good.
Let me zoom in.
What is it, sir?
It is Miss Kay's famous banana pudding.
Oh, of course.
And they wanted to thank you. This is the staff of the Hill Country Pregnancy Care Center in Bourne, I'm going to go with Bourne. There's extra letters. That's more than just Bourne, but Bourne, Texas. And they just wanted to shout you out, Miss Kay, for sharing your world famous banana pudding because it was truly delicious. And we appreciate you. And they said your family's ministry to communities across our nation. So I wanted to take a moment, especially with Korie in the house, because how many of these type of centers have you done stuff for? Pregnancy,
Yes.
yeah. And so I just wanted to say thank you to these people and everybody out there in these pregnancy centers.
Yeah.
That is
Absolutely.
super tough job
Yes.
from top to bottom, dealing with people that are going through something kind of traumatic and life-changing and a huge decision is at hand. So thank you to, there's like 9 or 10 women in this photo. I just want to say thank you. So thank you.
Yes, thank you. Truly saving lives.
For sure, for
And
sure.
Birth mothers that bring their baby to life are true heroes.
You know, and I could tell you so many stories. I know I don't have time to do that, but one girl that I was working with that had been in a real bad lifestyle, and she had come back, came to the Lord and was trying so hard and being here with us. And she was working in a store as a cashier, and she heard a mother and a daughter talk about going to get an abortion on the Monday, and this was Friday. And she called me on the phone and she said, Miss Kay, we got a problem. I said, what is it? And she told me the story. And she said, I just want to go right now and take them over to the life choices. I want to do that. And I said, okay, let me call them, make sure they're there. And I said, I'll call you right back and you find any way you can to get them over there. So I called them. They were leaving. They all got out of their cars, came back in, set up like they hadn't even closed. And I called her back and said, go now, go right now. Just think of anything you can do. She even had to get off work and took that lady and that mother and that baby that was supposed to be aborted on Monday was saved.
That's amazing.
And this life, he's here.
That's the best.
And that's just like that. And I would touch me so much because this was a brand new question. But she knew that's something she had done before. And she knows how much agony that was to worry every day, think about it. And so she just stepped out and was so brave and did that. But I was coaching her, and I think it's a beautiful story of saving a little boy's life.
That is.
That's
I love
amazing.
that.
All right, so last email on the day, and then I got a little Bible scripture from Uncle Si to share with y'all. And this one's heavy. Had to cough. McKenna emails in, and she's got her father. It's not the best relationship, it doesn't sound like. But he has voiced his opinion about my wedding. It's this year. He doesn't want her she says siblings, parentheses, stepkids, to be invited for personal reasons. So there's a little bit of a mess there. But she still wants to invite them, but then he said some things that weren't nice. He wasn't being in the right there. She's been leaning on God. I know God wants me to be kind, generous, loving, forgiving, but I'm so afraid my father will mess up everything at the wedding. I know God gave us free will, and it's up to my father to surrender to God, and then he will be saved from his own pain. I don't know how to respond to the situation I'm facing, and I need advice. Should I have more faith that God to protect and strengthen me through this and invite my father to my wedding, or should I save the heartache and not invite him? I feel like both are wrong decisions, which is why I'm glad we have two women in the house.
We'll
That
both
is a
say
tough
something,
one.
Korie. You can feel free to. I would say that you've got to be a Christian. You've got to do the right thing. And sometimes when somebody's mean, it doesn't make. You don't do the right thing by being mean back to them. You really don't. What you want to do is show them what Jesus would be like, and that's real hard. But it's kind of like if you're going to invite somebody that you think will be a troublemaker to a wedding or to anything, that's another hard decision there because you do hate for people to be upset. And Korie, I want to know what you think.
Well, I would say, first of all, I think she has a great attitude about it, just giving it to God and asking
That's
God's
right.
help. And within, that's the first thing you've got to do is just take it to God. And you can't control it all. You can't handle it all. So you do have to just kind of give that up. But I would say, I would hope that she could have a conversation with her dad and just say, I want you to be at the wedding, but if you can't be there
Right.
and behave, essentially, you might talk with the counselor or a therapist about exactly kind of how to word that, but to say like, I want you there, but if you can't be there and be pleasant and kind to all the siblings and everybody that's there, then then don't come.
That's
You know,
right.
like I want you. That my hope is that you're there, that we're all there, and that we have a lovely time together. But if you can't, then I understand that, and that's your decision as well.
'Cause that's like letting the devil
Okay, you're
in.
making a covenant between you and your husband and you and your husband and God. Okay, and like I said, I know good and well you want your father there for a very good moment in your life. Okay, but if he can't get over it and will not act right, I wouldn't invite him.
Yeah.
Okay, because this is your day.
Yeah.
Okay, when it gets right down to it, this is for you and your husband and God. Okay, and that's what's important. You do what you need to do to be happy, baby.
Amen. And I got that email this morning, and I read it, and I was like, "Ooh, that's tough. I can't answer that." And I was like, "We've got Korie and Kay on today. What a perfect time for a woman getting married to ask for advice from 4 weird dudes." When we got Korie and Kay, who are 2 normal women in the house. So thank y'all for being here and answering that. And we always end it with the Bible verse. Sorry. And I got a little one today. I said this on the last episode. Look, we know there's a lot going on out there. We just want to make you smile for an hour, maybe give you some good advice and tell you about Jesus. We're not going to deep dive into whatever's going on that's crazy, but I will share this verse with you that will hopefully help you through the crazy of whatever's going on in your life. Si asked me to do it. So Matthew chapter 6, Jesus Christ said these words, "Therefore I tell you, do not worry about your life, what you will eat or drink, or about your body, what you will wear. Is not life more than food, and the body more than clothes? Look at the birds of the air. Do they not sow or reap or store away in barns, and yet your heavenly Father feeds them? Are you not much more valuable than they? Can any one of you, by worrying, add a single hour to your life?" And then I'm going to skip down about 4 verses. "But seek first his kingdom and his righteousness, and all these things will be given to you as well. Therefore, do not worry about tomorrow, for tomorrow will worry about itself. Each day has enough trouble of its own." Thank y'all for listening. We're here for you in the duck call room if you need us. Thank you, Korie and Kay, for joining us. That was one of my favorite episodes ever. We'll see y'all next time right here.